Hey, what's up guys? So in this video I'm going to be talking about schemas. So we'll be using 3 plugins as a matter of fact. So we'll be using schema all-in-one, which is actually this one, the rich snippet. The other one that we will be using is Schema Pro. So in addition to the schema plugins, we will be playing with WP Review as well. So those are the 3 plugins that we will be playing with. There's actually a 4th one, which is actually Yoast. So there's 4 in total. So Schema all-in-one, which is the rich snippet that you see here. Schema Pro, WP Review, that's 3, and Yoast, that's 4. So here we are. So basically, what we're going to start with first is actually Schema Pro. So let's go ahead and click on Schema Pro. Okay, so you see how there's different titles, right? So the very first thing that you should do whenever you are using this is that you should create a type. So you see how this one says article, book, course, local business, person, service, video, object. So you're going to click on add new. You're going to select the type that you want to create for. So let's say, as an example, software application. Click on next. So in here, you're going to see how it's going to ask you to select which pages you want this type of schema to be on. So I typically just set it for all pages. And also I will set it for all posts and all pages, like you see there. So I'll click on next. So I clicked on add there. So I will go ahead and click on add complete setup. So you want to update it. Okay, so it's created. So let's go back on here under settings, go back on Schema Pro, and you're gonna see all the ones that have been created. So you're gonna see the most recent one, which is actually this one right here. So something really important. So you see how it says target location. So the target location is a really important thing to know. So say that you create a type of schema like you see on here. So let's say like this one as an example, you see the local business one. On here it says all posts only. So if you click on edit, we actually want to change it to where it's included for other types. So you'll see what I mean. So on here, you're going to click on add, and you're just going to select all pages. So you update it. And let me show you what this does. So you see that the type for this one is business, right? Local business. So we activated it for all posts and all pages. So let me show you what that is. So all posts is actually this one right here. So that's referring to, like, for example, blog posts. And all pages is actually this one right here. So let me click on all pages to show you what I mean. So say that if you were to click on edit, so you'll see if you scroll down towards the bottom, click on WordPress first. If you scroll down, you'll see that these are actually the options available. So one thing that is extremely important for you to understand, whenever you install Schema Pro as a plugin for the first time, you actually will not have it available like it is on here. So for example, if you click on all pages, if you try to edit a page, so as an example, at the moment I open the About Us page, but say that if I open a different one, they will not all be the same. So you'll see, as an example, if you count these are 5. So software application is 1, local business is 2, person 3, book 4, article 5. So you see there's 5 type of schemas. But that's actually not all of them. So let me show you what I mean. So if you go back here on settings, Schema Pro, you're gonna see how if you count the type of schemas in total, there's actually 8. You can see the number here, 8. So why is that? Why is it that we can only see 5? The reason why that is because at the moment you only have it enabled for all posts, as you see that. So that's why it's really important that you fix the enable. So let me go ahead and fix that really fast. Sometimes I will only use specific pages, and I'll show you that in a second, an example of that. So as you can see, I just included all pages. I updated it. So I'm gonna go ahead and click it again, and try to fix the other ones. So you'll see, like this one as an example, has all posts, and then it says necessity is the mother of all nature. So that's the type of page, and the about us page. So that's 2 individual pages and all posts, as you see there. So I'll show you an example here for service. So you see service right there. So if you click on add, click on here, click on a specific page, you actually need to type out the page. So as an example, you'll see that on here you can actually see the pages. Like each one of these are individual pages. So the about us or the contact us page. So as an example, let me search the contact us page. Contact. Okay, there you go. So you see that. So you're gonna go ahead and update it, and now this schema will be available only in the about us page. So you get the idea. But say that if you wanted to add all the pages again, right? So you would click on all pages, update it, and remember how I had shown you how there were only 5 type of schemas, right? So we'll actually go ahead and add all of them. So we'll make sure that there's more than 5 this time around. So if you look at all of these, you'll see that the video object at the moment does not have all pages, right? So we're gonna scroll down, and we're gonna add all pages. So we're gonna update it. So really important that whenever you set up Schema Pro for the first time, that you create all the schema types, and that you enable it for all the right pages like you see there. So let's see here. So here's another one right here, the person one, as you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix this one as well. So you can see that at the moment it's only 2 individual pages, right? So I'm gonna say all pages. Okay, let's go check again. So you'll see that all of them say all pages, as you see here. So as I said, there's only 8 created at the moment, right? So if you click on add new, you'll actually see that there's more than 8. You see this? So there's 6, 9, 12. So there's 13 in total that you could potentially create. So you'll see as an example for an article, for a book, for a course, an event. So like a concert event, job posting, local business, review, person, product, recipe, service, software application, video object. So that's 13 possible schema types that you could be using with Schema Pro. But at the moment, we only have 8 of them created. So let's go take a look at the pages again. So as I showed you earlier, there were only 5 being displayed, right? So let's go ahead and click on edit on the about us page, and if you scroll down, look for Schema Pro, right? So click on WordPress, scroll down, and you'll see that there should be 8 now. So there's 3, 6, 8. So you see that? So there's 8 in total. Okay guys, so let me explain something really important while I'm here. So whenever you have all the possible schema types, so let me show you what I mean so you understand much better. So you'll see that at the moment I have the article tab selected. So from all these tabs or sections that we have on here, I only have 2 of them completed. So you'll see that these are the 2 sections that I have completed. So let me so it's the person one and the article one. So the difference is that this one I gave it a rating, as you can see. So I'm gonna go ahead and update. So the thing with Schema Pro is that you will not be able to see the information, and let me show you what I mean. So you can see it's still loading here. So I'm gonna reload it again. Click on WordPress, scroll down, so you see all the 8 are still here. So let's go ahead and refresh again. So you see this? So that might not be, one of these is triggering the stars. So maybe it's the software application. So let's find out which one has stars, like you see there. I think it is a software application. So we might actually have to remove it. So you see this one has stars as well. The local business one has stars. Okay, the service one has stars. So there's 3 so far that have stars, as you saw. So here's another one with stars, course. You see that? So this is actually exactly why sometimes I only give it permission for specific pages, because as you see at the moment, we're having this problem where all these possible reviews are available, right? Because we selected all those schema types with reviews, as you see here. So let's say, so here's the first one. Here's the second one, as you can see there. We're looking at the stars. No stars on this one. Okay, here's another one. So that's number 3. Person, no star on person. Course, yes. So you see that, number 4. Let's take a look at book. No stars on book. Article has stars, but we already did that. So if you count these right here, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that might actually be wrong. So let me go ahead and actually remove the schemas here. So this is exactly why I don't do all pages, because you have this problem sometimes where things like this are triggered. So it's much better just to do individual ones. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm gonna go back on here on Schema Pro, and this is a typical problem, but I'll explain how to fix it. So we said that the software application was one of the ones with stars. So we're simply gonna go back and remove this one right here. So we're gonna click on here, gonna update. So let's go ahead and update on here, and we'll see if one of these disappears or not. So it did, as you saw that. So one of them just disappeared. So we are on the right track. So basically we are going to remove the ones with stars. That's basically what we are going to do. So local business is another one, if I'm not mistaken. So you can see why it's really important that you see what just happened to me, because it's a big problem with the schemas. Because if you mess up on a setting, it might display this extra information. So as you see here, that actually took care of all of them. So that's great. We took care of the ones that were having problems. So it was local business, and I forgot what the first one was. So watch the video again to determine the ones that were giving us problems. So if we go back on here, all pages again, let's take a look at the About Us page. So here is the About Us. So we're gonna click on Edit. So we're gonna go ahead and refresh it again. So let's take a look on here on WordPress. So let's click on WordPress, scroll down, and you'll see that at the moment this one has a star, the service one, but it's not coming up on the page. So as long as it's not intervening on the page, that's the only thing that matters. So click on book. Okay guys, so I just want you to pay attention and notice what I completed. So as an example, you see the article 1 here, I completed. So I just wrote 5 and I said review count just 1, right? Because you don't want to lie. Google's algorithm might find out, and they might penalize you. So you can see here, for book, I just wrote about us. For course, I did not do anything, as you see, because it's not a course. For person, I just wrote my name. So if you are watching this video, please do the same thing, on the pages. Country, US, gender, the logo, and then, I wrote this for job title, so please write the same thing. Progress Media Group founder, and then the URL is pmg.direct. So that's progressmediagroup.com, but that's the short URL. So that's what I did for person. So for service, as you see, there's nothing on there. For video object, this is a really important schema. So if we had a video prepare, we would use this, by simply pasting the video URL. So, it's pretty easy to figure it out. If you can't figure it out, just ask me and we'll figure it out together. But the main thing is that you update. So Schema Pro, let me explain something now about Schema Pro. Okay, so it's still loading, as you can see here. So let's refresh. Okay guys, so you'll see that, for example, let me go back on here so I can explain this to you. So you see, as an example, for person, right, we put my name, we put all this information, right? But if you look at the actual page, you'll see that it's nowhere to be seen. You see what I mean? Nowhere to be seen. So Schema Pro is actually internal. So if you look at the source, let me do Control F. So I'm going to search my name, and you're going to see that the name is actually here. You see that? You see male. So this is how schemas work, so it's intended to help you be found easier by Google's crawlers. But the main idea is that you follow basically for every page, these are the ones that you should be adding: the person and the article. Those are the main ones that you should be adding. You see that? Really important. So the person and article. For everything else, if there's a video, add a video, of course. For everything else, it's not going to be so much on that. So let me go back on here once again to Schema Pro. Click on Add New. So you see that the product one, so that's going to be a really important one. If, for example, if we are reviewing a product, a really important one, right, that we have available. So we'll say all pages, and then let's say about us. So let's say specific page about us. So I just search about. Okay, there it is. So go next. Complete. We're gonna go ahead and update it. So we're gonna go to the About Us page. I'm sorry, sorry. All pages first, and then the About Us pages page. So here it is. So we're going to look for that new schema that we just added, which is the product schema. So we're gonna go here on WordPress, scroll down, and you're gonna see here it is, the product schema. So the product schema is really, really important because it can be used for Amazon reviews, as an example, or reviews of any product. So I would say that the ones that you're looking at now are definitely good ones. So as I showed you, if you ever apply a schema, it's really important that you refresh the page so you can see that, so you see what just happened just now. All these reviews have been added. And why is that? It's because the product schema that I just added, right? So that's why it's so important that you refresh. As you can see, so important. So I'm going to go back on here on Schema Pro, and I'm actually going to remove it, and you can see why. So we're going to go on Edit. So we're going to go ahead and remove it, update it. So let's go ahead and refresh the page. You can see it's still loading. Okay, so all the stars are gone. So important, guys, that you refresh. Okay, guys, so let me explain something to you now. So you got the idea, right? So remember, the most important thing is that whenever you use Schema Pro, that you create all the schema types, but only apply all posts. And then, as I showed you, there are certain schemas that will create all those review elements on the page. So it's important that you refresh to make sure that that doesn't happen, right? So I showed you the list, so you can actually see the list on here. For example, local business, product, software application. So these are three schemas that will add a bunch of reviews on the page, as you saw. So I can't make it any easier for you than to just point them out like I am doing it right now. So always create all the schemas as I did, and then apply them to specific sections on the website. So for example, all pages or all posts. So you get the idea, right? Okay, guys, so let me explain something else now. So as I said, Schema Pro is from the inside, so you have to see the source. So you won't see it on the surface, but it will be inside the source. So that's the only thing that matters. So whenever you update on WordPress, you go on the page, you refresh, and then you view the source. So you do Control F, for example, for the name. So there will be certain schemas that you apply every single time. So as I said, let me point them out again. The person, the article, you always do those two. If there's a video prepare, you want to do the video. So those three, I would say, are the ones that will be used the most. After you apply them, and you refresh the page, and then you view the source. So it's just a matter of confirming that it's there. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's say that you confirm it, so you're good to go. So you'll see here as an example the aggregate rating. So let me show you what this is. So if we go back here to the About Us page, let's go to all pages, About Us. Let's scroll down, click on WordPress, scroll down. So you'll see that it's actually the article one right here. So you see how it says 5.1. You see that? So if you look at the source on here, you'll see here it says rating 5.1. You see that? So that's what schemas do, right? It's in the source. So whatever schemas you complete, it will be saved, and Google will help you track that information. So you can see that I completed the article one, the book one, and the person one. So those are the ones that I completed. If I had a video, those would be the 4 that I would complete every single time. So you get the idea, right, of what Schema Pro will do. So another thing is that, let's go ahead and update it. So let me show you what I mean. So you updated it, and then what you would want to do is actually open the page. So you want to right click on the link, open a new tab. So you'll see that whenever the link opens, you can actually test the schema. So you see how it says here is test schema. So you're going to click on that. And here you can actually see, for example, how your schemas are performing. So you can see that these are the schemas that I apply: the article schema, the service schema, and the video object schema. So if you click on it, you're gonna see that it says an error, right? If you saw that. So let's scroll down and you can see the error right here. So let's move this out of the way. So it says that the error is that it doesn't have a thumbnail. So that's an image, right? So it's saying that if you wanted to optimize it as best as possible, that you include an image for that schema that you included, which is the video object schema. So let's go back. You can see the article schema here. Let's find out what the error is. So you see this: a value for the image field is required. So it's saying that you should add an image, basically. So you can see the image field is recommended. Please provide a value if available. So let's go back on here, take a look at the service one. Let's see what it says. So it says image, address, price range, telephone. So you see that's possible information that you should be completed within the schema. So this schema is the service schema, as you see here. Okay guys, so you get the idea, right? That whenever you edit and you view the page, you click on test schema, and you can see from Google's structured data testing tool, which is actually what we're looking at right now, that you can determine how your schemas are performing and how to fix those errors. So it's a matter of going to the individual schemas. So as an example here, we're gonna go, let's say, the video schema one. So you're gonna click on Schema Pro. So I'm talking about this one right here, video object schema. So you're gonna go on here, video object. So here's the video object. So let's read that again. So the error for the video object, you can see the error. It says that it wants a thumbnail. You see that thumbnail URL. So you're gonna go on here and you're gonna see this right here, thumbnail. So say that you wanna, select an image right here, update it, and hopefully that will fix the problem. So let's go ahead and refresh. So remember, this is the video schema, the video object schema. So I'm gonna close this, test the schema again, the video object schema. So I went on here and I apply, right, something for the thumbnail. So you see that I apply the logo. So I don't know if the logo will work, but let's find out. So if you look at here, the video object schema is actually here. So you can see that the error is fixed now. So as you can see, that's how you fix the errors from schemas. So you see that the article one has an error. So if you look at the error, if you scroll down, you'll see that you can actually read the error. So if we go back on here, so let's double check that again. So this is the article schema. So you're gonna go back on here. So make sure that you always update, right? So we're gonna go look for that article schema. So let's click on here, Schema Pro. Here's the article schema, as you can see. So click on edit. So it's saying something about an image, right? So here is the image. So let's read the error again. So the error says a value for the image field is required. So image field. So it's talking about this one, image field. So let's do the logo. I don't know if the logo is gonna work. Let's find out. So let's update. We're gonna go ahead and update the page as well. Let's go ahead and close this one, and because we'll run it again. Okay, so it just finished loading, so let's update that again. Okay, so let's test schema, and remember this was the article schema, so let's see if it worked. And as you can see, the article schema does not have an error anymore. So let's look at the service schema, and you see that this one has multiple errors, but the most important one is the image one. So it's the service schema. So let's go ahead and fix it again. Click on Schema Pro. So service. So here it is, service, edit. So image, as you can see here, let's go ahead and go with the logo. Update. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh. Test schema. And the errors, oh wait, still here, interesting. Okay, let's check that again really fast. So value for image, let me check that again. What schema is this? This is the service schema. Okay, this is the one we're on, the service schema, as you can see. So it's saying the image. So you know what, we're gonna skip this one for now because I don't want to spend too much time. But you guys get the idea, right? How you fix schemas. It's always a matter of refreshing, viewing the page. Click on test schema, and if you see the errors, you already saw how to fix the error. It's really easy to fix the error, as you saw. So guys, this is Schema Pro. Once you apply it to specific pages, so I just really wanted to emphasize that, right? So you understood about specific pages. So let me explain something really important now. So you know how we use optimized press, right? So let's go ahead and view a page that was created with optimized press. So let's click on view, and I'll show you what I mean. So you'll see that this page is obviously created with optimized press. You see what I mean? So a lot of the times, if you click on edit, you will see that okay, let me go back on WordPress. So if you scroll down, you'll see all the schemas, right? So on pages that were created with optimized press, always apply the schema types that I told you about. So the person one, the video object one if you have a video prepare, and the book one, which is just the title. So the person one is probably the most important one. Really important. So if you don't know the information, please be sure to ask me for the information. So for pages that were created on optimized press, those are the schema types that you should be using for those pages that were created on optimized press. So you will see how, for example, you can see the rich snippets, right? So remember at the beginning of the video I mentioned that we were using 4 plugins. I said rich snippet, Yoast, Schema Pro, and WP Review. So you'll see that the rich snippet is actually one of the 4. WP Review is actually this right here that you're looking at. Yoast is right here, so that's number 3. And number 4 is Schema Pro, like you see here. So on all pages that were created with optimized press, never use this right here. Never use it. The rich snippet And the reason why you never want to use it, let me show you why. So let's go ahead and click on one as an example. Let's go ahead and update. So you can see this one is the coffee equipment and accessories pages. So we're going to go ahead and view the page, and you're going to see what I mean by why you never want to do that. So you see what it does to the page. So you don't want to deal with that. So let's go back on here, click on WordPress, and you want to make sure that you don't select anything. So that's for the rich snippet. Let me get this out of the way for this one right here. So this one right here is this one right here, that first one, this right here. So never use that on pages that were created on Optimized Press. Never use it. Same thing with WP Review. On pages that were created with Optimized Press, never use them. So you see here, I just select the star, I update it. I will update the page, and you'll see why. You see this? So it adds all those extra lines, right? It just makes the design look bad. So if you go back on here, I actually did not add any words. So let me show you what I mean. So ideally, you actually would want to write words. So let's go ahead and refresh, and you'll see what happens. You see that? So it totally ruins the page. So you definitely don't want to include that. And I'm only talking on, pages that were created with on Optimized Press. So you can see 2 out of the 4 plugins, right? On Yoast is actually 2 of the 4 plugins that you will always want to optimize the page. So Yoast and Schema Pro. So Yoast and Schema Pro, those are the ones that will always, on all the pages, you should be optimized with Yoast and Schema Pro. Always. So for rich snippets and WP Review, never use them on pages that were created with Optimized Press. Never use them. So I will go ahead and update, and you'll see that this will go away. See that? So remember that on pages that were created on Optimized Press, never use rich snippet or WP Review. Only use Yoast and Schema Pro. So you see that at the moment I actually don't have anything written on here. So let me write something. Okay guys, so you see that? So better than nothing, right? So you want to go ahead and update that. And in case if you're wondering where I got that info, it's just the title of the page. As you see there, it's just the title. So click on WordPress, so you can see the rich snippet one, never use that. WP Review, never use that. On Yoast, it doesn't affect the page at all. This is just SEO on the page itself. So if you click on SEO analysis, you can see certain things that could be fixed, right? Add phrases, so don't worry about that one for now. Cornerstone content, don't worry about that for now. Don't worry about that for now. So you're just focusing on the focus key phrase, as you see here. So that's the only thing that you're filling out for Yoast. Really simple. So that's for all pages for on all pages that were created on Optimized Press, Yoast and Schema Pro only. So you'll see what I'm doing right now is just collapsing the tabs here. So that's typically what I like to do because it's much easier to work like this. You see what I mean? When you collapse all the pages, the tabs like this, you can actually see what you're working with much easier. So click on update. So that's for pages that were created on Optimized Press. Never use the ones that I told you. So let's take a look at one that was not created on Optimized Press. So click on all pages. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this, and this is actually one that was not created with Optimized Press. And I'll show you why I'm showing you this right here. So what you're looking at the moment is actually a schema created with WP Review and rich snippet, which is actually this right here. So I'm going to look for this page that we're looking at right here. Necessity is the mother of all nature. That's the name of the page. So necessity. Okay, so here it is. So you can actually see the rating now. You see this? Because we added that, remember? So that's something that will be shown on the page whenever this page is shared. So that's how you give the ratings. So you guys are understanding much better now. So let's go ahead and click on review. I'm sorry, on edit. And by the way that I created this page that was not created with Optimized Press was pretty easily. So let me show you that first, actually, as a matter of fact. So I basically just clicked on here, add new. I just named the page, right? So I just named it on here. So I added the page, and then I just clicked on publish. That's all I did. And if you want to start typing content inside the page, that's where you place the content, and then you just click on publish. So it's really easy. So at the moment, this is the page that I created that was not created with Optimized Press. So I really want to emphasize that. So let me go back to all pages. So let's go ahead and look for that page again. Necessity, that's the name of the page. Necessity is the mother of all nature. So here it is. So as I said, I just created it, named it, and then as far as adding content, like I said, I did not do that. I just used the plugins. So let me show you what I did. So here we are on the page, and you can see that this is what I named the title. This is the actual content. So if you look at the actual page, this is the content, this is the title, like you see on here. Now on here, this page was not created with Optimized Press, right? So this means that you can use all the 4 plugins. So you'll see that the rich snippet one is actually this first one right here. You see the review. So for review, you see right here, from review to review description. So all those tabs that you see there, those are all part of WP Review, as you see here. So those are all part of it. So there's 4 tabs just for that section alone. Now if you look at I'm sorry, this part as well. So it goes from review to users reviews. Now you will see Yoast, which is actually here. So as I mentioned, the key phrase is the most important thing, the key phrase. So you see that we actually don't have a meta description for this page. So if you click on edit snippet, we actually would want to add a meta description here. So this is something really important. I actually forgot to mention this on that other page, but you can see that by edit snippet and adding a meta description of what it is super important. Okay guys, you see that? So I will obviously update that in a second. You can see that the main difference when you optimize, when you take the time, right, to check the pages. So I'm gonna go ahead and complete this one as well. You see that? Go ahead and update. So on the actual page itself, you will not see any Yoast changes, right? That's just SEO optimization that you're doing on the page itself. So you see that? So basically, anytime you're looking at any page, you'll be looking for 4 plugins. As I said, the Rich Snippet, WP Review, which ends on here, Yoast, and then Schema Pro. So let's go ahead and click on Schema Pro, and you'll see what we have here. So we want to go to person, and as you can see, the name is already here. So let's go ahead and scroll down. The info should be saved. So in order to avoid, typing this over and over, just make sure that whenever you go on Schema Pro that you set it up like I showed you, right? So you don't have to continue typing it over and over. Okay guys, you see that? So I will go ahead and update, and I believe that it was asking for an image earlier, if you remember that. So let's go ahead and put a title on here, give it a star as well. Remember the stars. So you always want to do this, always per page. So you see that it's updated. Okay guys, so if we refresh the page, you'll see that even though Yoast and Schema Pro are unrelated, remember that Schema Pro, you will not see the changes, right? Because it's internal inside the source. And Yoast is just SEO optimization. So what happens, right, if you have the page very blank? So if you scroll down, you'll see that this is the entire content that we have inside the page so far, which is actually this right here. So how do you add more content, right? That's what the question becomes. So these right here are 2 different tables. So you see that this is a table of its own, and then starting from here up to inside here, that's a table of its own. So this that I have highlighted at the moment is actually WP Review. See that? That's WP Review, and this is Rich Snippet. So this right here is Rich Snippet. So I will show you that now. So let's go ahead and click on Rich Snippet here. So you will see that this page is not a page that was created with Optimized Press. So you can use the Rich Snippet. So you'll see that at the moment I use the article Rich Snippet, and this is actually the information that I wrote for the Rich Snippet, for the article schema inside the Rich Snippet. So it's actually this that you're looking at right now. You see that? So you are including the name twice, internally and on the surface, as you see here, by the usage of Rich Snippet schemas for an article schema. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. So that's the Rich Snippet schema. Really simple, right? So you update it and you'll get this little table that you see here. Now the big one right here, the one that we see right above it, WP Review. So let me actually show you how to actually use that. So starting from here, from review to user reviews, those are the ones that we are focusing on. So as I said, I always collapse these because it makes it much easier to work with, right? So you see that, so we can go one at a time. So there's 5 tabs. So let's go with this one first. So you see that I named it review. So if you look at the actual page, this is actually the name right here, review, as you see that. And then I broke it down into 3 categories. So this is referring to, say that if within the article itself there were 3 different topics, right, and you were giving your review on those topics, so you can give them stars, and you can title it however you want. So I just titled mine review, right? I just kept it really simple. So you see that the name of the article title, which is actually, let me see, which one is that on here? Let's see here. Well, anyway, just complete the information. That's all that matters. Just complete the information. So let me go ahead and collapse this one because I want to show you the other ones. So just pay attention to what I completed. Just look at what you're looking at right now. If you see anything is missing on yours, just be sure that you complete it. So you see for these other tabs, the pop-up, don't touch anything on there. For the notification, don't touch anything on there. So just always update, right? So you can move on. So I'm going to click on the list item right here. So this is actually these right here. So you'll notice how these three right here. So imagine 3 different topics within the article itself. So you see that I wrote a necessity, mother, and old nature. So it doesn't obviously have to be that. It just depends on what the content is, what the article is. So I just gave them a star per category, as you see here. So you can change the colors as well if you wanted to. So I just kept it blue for now, right, to keep it simple. But you can change the box colors. So just play with the colors. So yeah, so the main thing is that for this section, you add the 3 sections and the rating. That's the main thing, right? So then it continues down here with the summary. So let me collapse this and we can go on. So you can see that these are the options that I selected. The stars, the average of all the stars, 4.83 as you see here. So you can see here 4.8. So let me collapse this. So let's look at review links, and you see that the link here is actually this right here. You see this? So that's the link. So that's what that is. So that's how you would add links. So if you had, for example, affiliate links, that's where you would include them. So here is the description, review description. So you see the text. If you look at this, it's actually this right here. So summary, pros and cons. So you see the pros and the cons, and the summary is this right here. So that's where that section comes in. So let me collapse that again. So that's the review description, as you see this. So let me collapse it again. So as you see, that's what that is. Now here it says user review. So we actually are providing the ability of the users to review us. So if you click on user reviews, you'll see that I selected visitor rating only. So if you update that, you're giving users the ability to rate you. So you'll see, as an example, I'll give a quick rating and I'll submit it. And if you refresh, the numbers should have been updated. So let's take a look here. And well, I should have maybe given it lower stars to see the difference, but the numbers will update, believe me. So there's going to be 2 reviews. So the main thing is that you select here visitor rating only and you update. That's it. So click on star and just go from there. So guys, as you see, I walked you through all the possible ways of things that could happen. So the main things that I did not talk much about is how to actually set up the plugins themselves. So here I'm gonna walk through that really fast. So WP review, if you have any questions, please let me know. But for the most part, as you see, I did not really change much. So one thing you could do here is that you could change the ability just to give the users the ability to give you ratings, as you saw. But we could do that manually, as I showed you. So in here I didn't really change anything. So I'm just going through the tabs to show you if there's anything that I added that you should do on your page. So you can see that these are the options that I have available, right? So I'm going to click on save changes. So as you see, guys, I showed you how you can use Yoast, Schema Pro WP review to give reviews for anything, and how to use rich schemas and include those on pages, right? So on pages that were created with optimized press. So let me show you one example once again. On all those pages, like for example, the About Us page is one example. For all those pages that were created with optimized press, you're only optimizing them with Yoast and Schema Pro. You see this right here? So you can see that here it's not even optimized. So it should be us. How about us? You see that? Add a rich snippet here. Guys, so this should be every single page. You see, that's why I made this video very long, to walk you through all the steps and to explain all the possible things that could happen, right? So it's always really important that whenever you start this process, that you create all the schema types, especially here on Schema Pro, and that you go through the configuration wizard process like you see on here, so you have everything prepared and it makes it much easier to work with. So guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. As I said, you know, it's really important that you remember what I said, and if you have any questions, please let me know. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. So this video is all about optimization, right? So please watch the other Yoast videos that I had created before, so you can understand much easier, right? So say that we go here on all pages. Every single page that you have on here should be optimized with Yoast. So you see this right here? So this is actually Yoast. So you see that the light should be green. So that's how we would know that it's good to go. So you see the meta description here and the key phrase. So you'll notice how a lot of these pages are not optimized properly, right? So that's a bad thing. So that's a big thing about optimizing, that we are optimizing with Yoast, schemas, and whatever else, you know, we included, reviews and all that good stuff, right? So let's click on edit again. I can see that there's no ratings. You see that? So let's click on WordPress. Let's go see if we can fix that really fast before I complete the video. So we're gonna go on here. Okay, the page is not loading. That's awesome. So the main thing is that we're gonna go you know, on Schema Pro, we're gonna look for the type of schema where we can add a review. So the About Us one. So let me see if I can refresh really fast. Well guys, it's not loading, but you know, I explained how to add the reviews on the page. It's just a matter of selecting the right schema, give it the review, and then whenever you are here on all pages, what should happen is that you should see a rating for every single page. You should have a meta description for every single page. You should have a key phrase for every single page. Make sure that you read the titles so they make sense. So you'll notice, as an example, this one says coffee marketing. We know how to market coffee shops. So we know how to market coffee shops. You see that? So it looks good, right? From an SEO perspective, you'll see that some of them, like this one, is red. You see this one? It still needs some work, right? But the main thing is that you give them a star, as I showed you. You optimize it with Yoast. So you see this one right here. It's the only one with a star. So this is actually how every single one of them should be. Star, optimized, even though it's not green, it should be green. The title of the page is good, meta description is good, and the key phrase is good. Guys, so I explained the process as best as I possibly could. Please let me know if you have any questions. And WP review is great for leaving reviews and for creating a star system. So whenever the pages are searched, it makes them look even better. So you can see the big difference of all the pages that are not optimized and the page that is optimized here, even though it's not green 100%. And the way that you make it green is just to optimize Yoast some more. So guys, go on edit, look for Yoast, and eventually you'll either the key phrase needs work or your meta description needs work. So you'll see here on Yoast, click on edit, so you can see that I believe maybe the key phrase needs work, right? So let's say here, you see that? So let's go ahead and update, and we'll see if that helped at all. But you can see, the SEO ranking depends upon how much you write on here. You see that? It just turned green, right? So I'm going to go ahead and update that. Let's go ahead and look at all pages. So you could just copy, something from the page itself, so it becomes green, right? So let's look at the page again. Go back on here on page 2. So here it is. So you see that it's still not green, right? It's still not fully optimized. But, big difference. You see this here? The meta description looks a lot better. So that helps with SEO, right? So if you have any questions, guys, please let me know. I try my best to explain on this video, so please let me know. Remember, there's 4 plugins, right? Yoast, Schema Pro, Schema All-in-One, which is the rich snippet one that you see here, and WP Review, which are actually here on the settings. Okay, guys, take care. Okay, see ya.